Right, so if someone had told me 5 years ago that I would be camping on top of mountains, sleeping in the middle of nowhere on my own, I would not have believed them. But anyway, this is tonight's adventure. My name's Ben, welcome. If you are new around here, it's nice to have you. But anyway, let's rewind a little bit and restart the adventure from earlier. Let's go.
Alright, so I started my afternoon in the wonderful but incredibly busy Keswick. The weather is lovely and it's a bank holiday, so there's lots of people today. But it starts getting much quieter as I start heading out of Keswick.
But anyway, finally managed to get away from the crowds, bit of peace and quiet. So today I'm doing a wild camp and I'm going to head up to Walla Crag. But first I'm just having a little stop off, get some cold water from the stream, because it is pretty hot today. But anyway, we're going to crack on, we're going to keep heading up. Let's get up there.
The sun is shining and the summer colour is returning. Everything is so green and lush. I can't wait to experience some solitude tonight when nobody's around. But I can't help but wander around a little, checking out all the little streams and taking my time. I keep heading towards Walla Crag as some stunning views of Derwentwater and cat bells reveal themselves in the background. And this is certainly not a bad spot for a little water break. But anyway, I carry on through more beautifully green forest and across scenic footbridges over lovely little streams.
Alright, so probably about over halfway to Walla Crag. Walla Crag's just a little fell. I think it's about 350 metres, but anyway, I'll insert the height here. So it's not too far, nothing too strenuous. But out of the way, it is a busy bank holiday, so I'm hoping by the time I pitch up about 7 or 8 o'clock, all the crowds will be gone and I'll have the whole place to myself. And hopefully I'll give you a decent idea of what it's actually like while camping in the middle of nowhere on your own. Let's keep going, we're nearly there.
I find myself crossing over another footbridge, but this one takes me out of the forest. Here, I start another steep climb with some incredible views to keep me going.
Alright, so pretty much just on the last steep stretch really, and then up to Walla Crag, but as you can see, scenery doesn't get any better than this, does it? Got Skiddaw over there somewhere, Glencathra over there somewhere in the background. But you can tell it's starting to become summer because everything's just green. It lights up so much, especially when the sun comes out. It's just hidden away now, but we'll hopefully be arriving at the top of Walla Crag soon, and then I'll show you where I'm hoping to pitch up for the night. So pretty exciting.
And this is pretty much the last steep incline before reaching Walla Crag. And with it being pretty hot, I end up drawing a bit of a sweat.
So actually, I'll just show you where I came from in Keswick. Let me just turn you around. Alright, so you can see there, that town there, that is Keswick, that's where I came from. So I came all the way around there, around there, and back up here. So it's not actually too far of a walk. So you can park further around that way, and it's not so much of a walk. Whereas if you come that way, you're probably looking about an hour and a quarter walk to where I am now, maybe an hour, but it's took me a lot longer because I've kept stopping with my tripod to get shots, get my drone out and stuff, and taking my time. But you can get here relatively quickly, or there is a car park over that way. I'll leave the name of 2 of them down here. So if you do want to come and check out this spot at Walla Crag, you can. But I'm hoping by tonight, when everyone's gone, it really will be truly on my own. And yeah, I'll give you a bit of insight into my first experience while camping. I'm still a beginner, really. But yeah, it's something that's pretty scary, to be fair. Like if you've never done anything like it, certainly never done anything like it growing up. And you think you've just got a little tent, you're going in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, pitching up a tent and just sleeping there. You don't know what's out there. You don't know whether you're going to be safe, whether you're going to have everything. And there's all these things to worry about, which I was during my first time. You know, you have all those anxieties. And then I remember I came out and I'd done it. And yeah, there's some things which are a little bit of a pain, I'm not going to lie. And like setting the tent up and not getting much sleep can be a bit tedious, but there's some memories which just make the experiences so valuable and so special. So I think all the hardship of setting your tent up, carrying a big bag like this, getting a sweat on, really is worth it with the whole experience, generally, in my own experience anyway. But yeah, we're not too far from Walla Crag now, so I might have a miserable time. It's meant to rain tonight, so we'll see how that turns out. I'm an absolute sweaty mess. There's absolutely no wind at all, which is very unlike the Lake District, especially on top of one of the fells. There's cat bells over there, one of my favourites. Views do not get better than this. But anyway, I think it's time for a little sit down.
Right, so I'll let you in on the plan. It's only about 6:20, so I've still got quite a while yet. So I'm going to chill out here, read my book, have some food, and then maybe in an hour or so I'm going to walk over that way, where I'll reveal where, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be camping for the night and set my tent up. This is what I'll be looking forward to, just a bit of solitude. Nobody here but me. This is the great thing about the evenings. People tend to clear off through the day, and you've got the whole place to yourself when it gets to 6, 7 o'clock in the summer, usually, which is good, especially the less popular ones anyway, like this one. So it's getting chillier now, the wind's picking up a little bit, so I think let's get some drone shots, and then I'll show you to where I'm hoping that I'm going to pitch my tent up. But anyway, drone shots, let's go. Well, I hope you enjoyed flying in the sky there, but I'll tell you what you can do with this little thing. It's absolutely incredible. I love it. It's my little baby. But anyway, just now, we're just walking along this path. I'm going to try and find, hopefully, where we're going to pitch up for tonight. Go on, shift. Or I'll put you on a barbecue. Yeah, look at the power. Like Moses parting the Red Sea. Hello. You cutie? Finally found some sheepies at last. Aha, I think we might have found it. Perfect spot. Right there, right on the edge. Let's go. Yes, look at that little patch of grass around me. This spot is absolutely perfect. With those views, panoramic views. It's just what I'd hoped for. Right, so this is the thing I hate second most about wild camping, and it's setting the tent up, but there's one thing which I hate even more, and it's taking the tent down, which is even worse. But anyway, let's get a time-lapse kicking. Let's go. So, I just have a little tiny tent really, but I actually forgot how to put it up. But I managed alright. I was just excited to see what the tent looked like with the views behind it. I couldn't wait for a night all by myself here. Voila, take a look at that. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot how to set the tent up, but I just winged it and there it is. I couldn't be happier with the views. I was a little bit nervous because I hadn't wild camped in ages. But I guess the reason why I wanted to make this video as well was refer back to when I started, and I'd never done a wild camp before, I'd never done anything like it. And I was nervous, I was worried, I was anxious about so many different things, whether the tent was going to work, whether I was going to get soaking wet, whether I was going to be freezing, whether I was going to get murdered by a serial killer, whether I was going to get abducted by sheep, all sorts. But then I think when you just come out and do it, it's like, wow, like I'm out here on my own, nobody else here, got the whole place to myself, the sun's setting, absolutely stunning scenery. It's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, I'll show you around the tent. Let's go! Yeah, we'll have a little peek inside. Right, so it's pretty much a little coffin really, because if this thing gets blown off here in the middle of the night, you're already in a coffin, so it's perfect really. So can't complain about that either, can you? Listen to that rain. Sounds pretty heavy. I don't think it's a good idea to go outside. When I wild camp, I do always have the occasional thought, what if there's a murder outside my tent? But it hasn't happened yet, so I'm guessing it doesn't happen that frequently. So I take my chances, but you never know. Yeah, if I do get murdered, someone please post this video. I would appreciate that. Thank you. I'm only kidding, don't worry. Anyway, let's get a little look outside.
very graceful, was it? It's a bit soggy. Anyway, let's show you the tent. So if I come around this other side, you'll see against the light. Look at that. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure the weather forecast said it's going to rain all night, so I could be very soggy by the morning, but it might be drizzly, it might be raining, but look where I am. Madness. But anyway, I've got a little message coming soon, which was the whole purpose of the video really, rather than me ramble and fly a drone about. But yeah, I did have a little message which I wanted to give out and give this video a bit of purpose. The whole reason why I made it really. So I might go for a little wander now, get soaking wet, but we'll have a little chat. Me and you will have a little chat. And I need a wee. That's realistic. So yeah, that is my accommodation for the night. Pretty good if you ask me. Certainly not bad views. But like I was saying before, I think it's absolutely mad that I'm out here completely on my own. Nobody here. I feel like someone should come and tell me off and tell me I'm not allowed to do it. Technically it's not really allowed, but it's tolerated anyway while camping. But yeah, I hope this does give you a bit of an impression of what it's like, you know, coming out here on your own. But I guess the reason why I wanted to make this video, like I was saying, was I was kind of thinking the other day, like, I've done this a few times now, only a few, 4 or 5 maybe, but before the first time I'd done it, I was like scared, anxious, worrying about so many different things, and it's been like that with a lot of things. It was like that just hiking, it was just like that with just doing things alone, and I thought about it, and I thought, I feel like I've took for granted the fact that I can just go out and do these things now and not really have to worry so much. But obviously it's because I overcome that first initial barrier and just doing it. And I was scared and I was worried, but I just came out and done it. And it was amazing. And I've got so many great memories, like when I was over there on Cat Bells and the sky was full of stars and I watched the sunset all on my own. You know, really special memories. And I was thinking, like, there must be so many other people who were in the position I was in but don't do it, and they let all those fears stop them, which is completely normal and understandable, but I thought it'd be nice just to kind of share that message, and that if you just go out and do things, because there's so many different worries, there's so many little things that your brain tells you are an issue or a problem or worries about. And like what I always say, I say to my family as well when they think I'm crazy, I say, look, if I'm not going to die or I don't die, it's not a problem, it's not an issue. If I get soaking wet, it doesn't matter. If I get freezing cold, probably also doesn't matter. There'll be ways to warm up, there'll be shelter somewhere, do you know what I mean? There's 9 times out of 10 there's solutions. Like tonight it's raining, doesn't matter, stick your waterproof on, get out. But I guess, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, you know, I think it's just an attitude, it's a headspace, and it's very easy to kind of let those excuses just consume you, and stop you from doing things, which isn't necessarily a bad thing itself, but you know, I think life is all about just experience. And like, for example, I'm so grateful that I've done so many amazing things the past couple of years by just not being afraid to do things alone, for one, not letting fear stop me from doing things which I might not even like, but I've done this and I love it and hate it a little bit for the tedious things like carrying a big heavy bag up everywhere, but the experiences themselves are so worth it. And the thing is, like, there are little bits of it which are difficult, like you've got to carry this big tent up a hill, like, which is hard enough on its own, or a mountain. You've got to pitch the tent up, you've not got much space, it's not the most luxurious, comforting thing in the world. But I think the thing is, when you've got that bit of effort, you've got to put that bit of effort in, and you know, you kind of make a sacrifice. That's when you actually appreciate different things, and that's actually backed up by science as well. Neurologically, if you put work and effort into things, and time and energy, it basically increases the amount of dopamine which is released in your brain, which makes you feel good. Which is why I've started to try and do things like this, because if you're sacrificing that comfort and you don't constantly have a warm bed and warm shower and all these lovely things, then one, you don't appreciate it, and it just becomes like a blur. It just becomes the same old thing, really. But in a way, when you do challenge yourself and hike up, and then you enjoy the views more, and you just get out and push yourself that a little bit further, I think it really does do you the world of good. So yeah, I think it is easy to worry, especially when you're on your own, you know, like, and you do these things alone, or you're not used to doing these things alone. It is frightening and it is scary, and you worry about, like, what if people see you on your own, or what if something bad happens, what if you get bored, what if you get lonely, what if you get all this shit really that can go around your head. And I think one thing is I sort of took for granted that in the past I was exactly like that, and still am to some degree, but I think I take for granted the fact that I overcome those initial fears, and I can now just be like, oh, I might go out and do a wild camp, and I wouldn't have that same fear that I had the first time. And I think that's the real reason why I'm making this video. Best to be cautious and manage risk how you can, but I think overall the risk is very little, and all the worries are just made up, pretty much, or at least massively over exaggerated. And you can stop yourself from doing so many things. But if you just come out and do these things, like, such good experiences, such good memories, and then you learn to appreciate proper comforts as well. Like, the amount of times where I've done a big long hike, like 7, 8, 9 hours walking, and you just think, oh, I cannot bloody wait to get into bed. Whereas if you don't do that, it's just the same as always, isn't it? And you take your hot showers for granted, your nice food, nice warm bed, all that, shelter, house, everything. Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna go off in a little wander. I think I'm gonna head up there, see what the views are like from up there. Be pretty dark soon, so yeah. But let's go on a little detour. Oh, I'm gonna end up having a heart attack. Not far now.
The perks of being completely alone, you can do whatever you want. But seriously, the views at night are great when the peaks become silhouetted. But it's very wet after the rain, and I found some cool mushrooms.
It's such a good view from up here, but the thing is you probably won't be able to see it. Like, it's too dark. Actually, you can still see with normal video. I believe my tent is about there. But yeah, was this walk worth it? Absolutely not. I should have just stayed in my tent. Not a good idea. There it is, the little beauty. This thing better keep me dry tonight. I absolutely bloody hope it does, like really hope. Otherwise I'm in trouble. Oh no, we've got some bad news. Look at that. Oh, starting to get waterlogged. That is not good. There we go, let's get back in there. But this is the ugly side of wild camping, I suppose, that you might not see as much on YouTube. But also I'm not very well prepared, so I'm not a very good example to follow. I don't have a sleeping mat or anything like that, so you could call it minimalistic wild camping. Yeah, maybe that's just wishful thinking. Yeah, excuse me if I'm a whinge in the morning. Yeah, I think that's it for me, so good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios. Alright, so it is morning time. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Just had a little look outside and it looks pretty nice, so let me turn you around and give you a look. Oh, look at those clouds. Look at that for a morning view. Go, look at that. It's just started to clear. Absolutely beautiful. Right, so, and just like that, we are all ready to go. Bag sorted, tent sorted. So that's the wild camp over. I hope I give you a rough idea of what it's actually like being out here completely on your own, no one to disturb you, except there's probably a few sheep sleeping over there, but apart from that. But anyway, let's get cracking and let's go.
So after packing the tent away, I decided to have a little wander. The Lake District really is something else when the clouds pass and the sun is shining. But next stop, Ashness Bridge.
But anyway, I think I am going to wrap it up here. What a beautiful spot to finish. If you could at least take one thing away from this video, I would be very happy with that. So And I think a good bit of advice is just start small, you know, just do something little, and then take steps up. There's no need to go out and do crazy things straight away. Just go out, start small, and get yourself out. There's so much experience to be had, so many good things to see, so get out and do it. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Goodbye, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please stick around for some more. I'll have plenty more coming this summer. But anyway, goodbye, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later, take care, goodbye.